Throughout the entirety of The Sopranos, we come to know Paulie Walnuts Gualtieri as a stone-cold gangster, one who dates back to the Mafia's golden age and heyday during the 1970s and 80s. As the show progresses, we know Paulie as a murderer, thief, a penny pincher, a complainer, and a gangster who seems to carry the traits of loyalty that Tony so dearly respects. But is the traits of loyalty true when it comes to Paulie? Now, Paulie was a loyal guy for decades, and he only wavered his loyalty on occasion when he felt that all he's done for the Soprano family was often getting overlooked by the more financially successful Ralph. We first see glimpses of Paulie crossing the line in terms of loyalty to Tony by communicating with members of the New York crew behind Tony's back. This is specifically his secretive communication with New York's underboss, Johnny Sack. It happens first when Paulie complains about Tony ruling against him on a sit-down to John. This is the first of many conversations between the two, and these conversations would later lead to major problems down the road, as Paulie asked Johnny Sack to send his regards to Carmine right after complaining about being disrespected by his own guys.
He asks about you. Give him my love. I will. They like hearing that.
The tone of Paulie's well wishes come off as a rather overt attempt to test the waters of him flipping crews, and it was well received by Johnny Sack. We see here that Johnny Sack is a master of manipulation by lying straight to Paulie's face about something that isn't true, only to start problems and get what he wants. Between season 3 and 4, Paulie was arrested for gun possession and was away for 4 months. While he's away, he doesn't receive any calls or visits from anyone in New Jersey. Not only does no one pay Paulie a visit at all, but no one makes an effort to visit his mother at Green Grove. During his time in the can, the only savior to Paulie is Johnny Sack, as the two communicated on a regular basis, with Paulie believing that John was truly concerned with him and was a true friend. But this was all only to sweeten Paulie up and to get what John wanted. While under the false impression that he could switch crime families, as we all know and come to find out later, it was Paulie who told John that Ralph made a joke about his wife Ginny. This ultimately started the bloody war between the two families. Paulie obviously tells John this information as he knows it will put him on John's good side, as he wants to get in with New York, but he also wants to get Carmine's love and respect. The reason why John welcomes Paulie with open arms is that he knows he can manipulate Paulie into getting what he wants, this being Tony getting whacked.
There could be a change.
Tony?
Suffice to say, no matter what happens now or in the future, Carmine won't forget you.
It's throughout the communication between the two where John lies constantly to Paulie by telling him that Carmine not only thinks the world of him,
I know we talk sometimes. I tell you my problems, you tell me yours. And I have the highest regards for Carmine.
He thinks the world of you also.
John is simply using Paulie only to get information about the Sopranos and their business deals like the Esplanade. Paulie later discovers that this isn't true at all, when Carmine doesn't even recognize him at the wedding, but also has no idea who Paulie is.
What's your name again?
Paulie Gualtieri. Jersey?
Your father was run over by a trolley, right?
Johnny talked to you about me, right?
Johnny who? Sack? Talk to me about what?
Paulie later discovers that this isn't true at all, when Carmine doesn't even recognize him at a wedding, but also Carmine has no idea who Paulie is. Paulie realizes here that he has now been duped by Johnny Sack. This even affects Tony's relationship with John and New York, as he says someone's talking too much and that it's costing him money.
Somebody's talking too much. It's costing me money.
But he has no idea who it could be or how the news about the Esplanade got out to John and New York in the first place. We see that John has pulled off his plan masterfully as Paulie becomes best friends with John and can always be seen complaining about New Jersey. To regain Tony's trust, Paulie suffocates his mother's friend Min, only to steal her cash under the bed and give it to Tony as a sign of he's back. Looking back on some of the major events in this series, the joke about Ginny was all Paulie's fault. This ended up costing Tony money and started the war between the two families. I believe that Paulie was a mole for New York and John, and if he had the chance, he would have flipped in a heartbeat. In the final 3 episodes, everyone is on red alert and Paulie is nowhere to be found. He's tasked with informing the Italian hitman on where they can find Phil Leotardo to kill him. Right after they get set up, Paulie is shown jumping in his car and speeding away. Paulie was probably on his way to tell Phil about the hit. After the hit is botched, Silvio tells Tony that Paulie apologized and takes blame for the mistake. And after this, Paulie even turns down Tony's offer to run Vito's crew. I think he turned it down because he knew that in a few days, the crew would no longer exist, resulting in Paulie getting killed. Do you think Paulie was a mole for New York? Let me know down in the comments section below. For more Soprano theories, keep it locked here, right here on this channel.